Endlessly searching online or meeting people organically and naturally in person. Some have had success using both ways. Is there a right and wrong way? Let's discuss it. Welcome. Finding love. This may be the most sought after topic online. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some ways that work, some ways that don't work, and I'm going to propose to you a way that has worked for me, and I'm going to give you details of how I manifested love, and I want you to see yourself in this, and I want you to imagine if you could use similar method to find your love, a lasting love. For those of you that are not just listening but also watching, I'm also going to be sharing some personal pictures with the lady that I love in my life here in the Philippines. Finding love. And what I'm about to share with you will either move you to action or possibly just trigger disbelief. I'll share it anyway. Now, there are multiple ways, as we know, of finding love. Online dating, dating sites, a chance meeting, perhaps a set-up blind date, friend introducing you, meeting someone at work is very common. What I would like to share with you are some of the right and wrong ways I did it along the way, and what works and why. Now, whether you're already in a relationship or you're dating someone and seeking to have a relationship, or you're 100% single and want to start from scratch, if you're trying to change him, she or he will love you. If you repair a broken relationship, or if they can just be a little different, they'd be ideal. Either way, in any of these situations, I think you'll find these principles are practical and usable right now. So stay to the end and find out how I and others have found love, and it can be a lasting love. I found it and have it right now. You'll get the gist of how I did it, so stay with me.
Hello. Oh, Nika.
Yes, you're here.
So good to see you again.
Everywhere.
Love. Could there be anything more glorious and more painful? To be with him or her. First, here are some key factors that make a huge difference, and they might for you also. First, do you really know what you want for yourself? Do you really understand who would be a good fit for you? Do you know what you're looking for? If you're ready to settle for whomever will have you, well, that's what you'll get. If you are specific, selective, and have a specific type of person with the physical, spiritual, the habits and personality type you want, well, you can have that also. I knew exactly what I wanted in a woman, and that's what I have now. So start there. Know yourself better and know what you want. Examine yourself and be honest. What do you truly want? My lady, she's ideal. More on that in a moment. Secondly, if you're in a position to date, cherish this fresh start. If you dread the dating scene because you always end up with the same jackass and is ultimately not the right guy or lady, and believe that's the way it is, you're right. And it will be the same again. It's called Groundhog Day. Perhaps you remember the movie. Hilarious. It's also referred to this way. If we always do what we always have done, we'll always get what we always get. On the other hand, if you're taking the time to consider not only what you don't want, but what you do want, yes, the specific character traits you're seeking, well, you're on the right path. And don't dread it. Stop dreading the process. Embrace it as a fresh start and start with a fresh mindset. And be choosy. Yes, that will include taking time to know thyself. Work on your confidence and self-worth. What Neville calls your self-concept. Then go for what you really want. How? How do I do that? Well, whether it's online first or a natural meeting in person, here's what I did right. I took a few days to first think carefully about it and then write out exactly what I wanted. Here's what I'm going to suggest. This is what actually comes from Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, and some other great teachers about manifesting any goal. Take a notebook or a piece of paper and draw a circle in the middle of it. In the middle of that circle, write down the main result in brief. For example, happy, satisfying relationship. Next, from the edge of that circle, draw out lines with arrow points from that circle. As many as you like. I recommend anywhere from 10 to 20. Then, at the tip of each point, write out each quality. Here were mine when I began my search and wrote it out. Now, again, this applies to me and my age and circumstances and what I desire, and may be very different from your list. But this is it. I'll list them here. Does not need babies. Fine with no more kids. Enjoys self-development. Loves adventurous and frequent romance. Likes both beach and mountains. It's a bonus if she scuba dives and swims. Loves travel experiences and adventure. Fine with not rushing into marriage. Likes health and fitness. Kind, mild, sweet, loving. Wants to please me. Cooks, cleans, and is organized at home. Spiritual, believes in God. Has a loving family. Honest, hardworking, not lazy. Smiles and laughs a lot. And this last part might trigger some of you, and I hope that you understand that this was my vision, okay? The next is slender and petite, under 5'2" and 100 pounds, beautiful, brown, and exotic and shapely. Loves massage and is a massage therapist. Now, I understand many of you prefer a full-bodied man or woman along with very different qualities than I've listed, like having lots of money and a great career. No judgments. It's your choice. Now, some of you may have just got a little upset or judgmental in reading my details. I don't apologize. These are attributes I wanted in a woman. Yes, detailed, specific, and picky, I admit. Now, wait a minute. Hear me out before you conclude it's a pipe dream and not possible. You see, here's the thing. I got all of those things in the lady I'm now with. The only one yet to happen is her scuba diving, and she's willing to do that. She's very adventurous and open to trying new things. She loves the beach, the sun, and the water, and swimming, and snorkeling, so she's got a great head start. Now, she is a massage therapist. In fact, she is a professional acupuncturist, and she's needled me several times. She's 5'1", 97 pounds, as you can see in the pictures. That's about 44 kilos. She is all the other things I listed. Again, you may want someone 6 foot plus and 90 kilos or 200 pounds or more. We're all different, and that's okay. Now, it took me a while to find her. Here's what I did wrong while searching. One is, I really got in my own way by settling for less along the way. I compromised. I jumped into being with someone before taking enough time to date them and see if they had all those qualities and make sure that they were a good fit already. Remember the old-fashioned process of giving it time and knowing them better? Some call it dating, some call it courtship. And that might take months, if we're honest, right? To really get to know the person. So take your time. I went back to my list and I refocused and I decided I was going to continue to imagine everything working out from my list and meeting that specific person. So what's the lesson here? Well, for me it was, first of all, don't compromise. Don't settle and think you can fix those 2 or 3 things later. Ouch. I just upset several of you, I'm sure. Can they change? Sure. It's possible. And we know there's a lot of examples of that. So please don't take that wrong if you're in the middle of trying to get your SP to make those few changes so that they will fit you. Okay? That was not meant to disrespect that approach. My goal with this video is to be as transparent, as honest I can without disrespecting. So if that triggered a few of you, I really don't apologize because this is what I did and what worked for me. Okay? So personally, it was because I interfered with the process. I really actually compromised on what I was seeking. Yes, there were a few that I dated, one that I actually became very serious with, and actually we were close to marriage, and then things basically didn't work out for us. However, I didn't give that lady enough time and myself before I proposed marriage, and I take that upon myself. We were not the right fit. So the other ladies that I dated were lovely, and they were great in many ways. But it didn't last. Why? Because we were not the fit that would make it last. I didn't want to fix or change them. Listen, there are 10 billion people on this earth. Why settle or need to fix them in order to make it work? Again, that flies in the face of most of the SP videos and teachers on YouTube. But I'm ready for a fit and not someone who needs fixed. Lots of you, let's face it, lots of you ladies want to fix him or have him evolve into your ideal. You want that challenge, and I get it. It's very common. And if that's the way that you choose to go, that's okay. In fact, as a coach, I've had many ladies that I've helped in that regard. However, I say, and you might consider, just for a moment, why not go for what you truly want? Don't you do that with your career? Don't you do that with other parts of your life? And then have the faith that they will come and become part of your life. I went back to my list. I believed it to be true and that it would happen. And it did. In harmony with Neville Goddard's teachings, I even created an imaginal scene that I would actually meet her on the beach. I created a scene in my imagination that I would meet her naturally on the beach. And that's exactly what happened. I did meet her right here, just a couple of 100 yards from my apartment where I live right now. Now, I challenge you to really, truly test the law of assumption. That's where the power of imagination and Neville's methods come into play. If this has struck your interest, see my other videos to see how to use them, how to use these laws. And through practicing them, you'll see them work in your life. Well, good, bad, or ugly, I'd love to read your comments. I know there are dozens of you of that have had exceptions to the rule, to the ideas that I've just presented, that I've shared with you here. I'd love to hear your comments. Robert Meade, wishing you only love and success.